Hello and welcome back to our Harvest of the Month recipe video series. My name is Emily and today we're going to be working with green beans. Now, green beans are super versatile. They can be used in so many things and they can be found almost anywhere. You can also use fresh or frozen green beans in almost any recipe and it'll taste just as delicious. So today we're going to be making some Creole green beans. And Creole is the food that is usually found in Louisiana. It has influences from many other cultures and it's super spicy, super well seasoned, and super delicious. Don't worry though, ours isn't going to be too spicy. So to start out with, I've already got some vegetables prepped. So I have about a cup of red bell pepper that I've just chopped up here, about a cup of tomatoes that I've chopped, and about a half a cup of celery that I've just sliced into nice little pieces. So now for the star of the show, the green beans. So the best way to cut a green bean, so you want to cut both ends off after you've washed them, of course. These are washed and ready to go. So you want to cut both ends off. You can cut them with a knife or you can just snap them right off, whichever is more fun for you. And then we're just going to cut these. I'm going to cut mine in half so that they're about this big each. Bite size, but you can cut them however big or small you want them. So we're just going to cut off both ends and then cut them in half. I've got about a pound of green beans here, so I am going to get to work and cut these all up, and then I will see you guys at the stove to get cooking. Alright, so we're at the stove and ready to start cooking. Now, I have a little bit of oil here in a pan, and I'm going to just heat it over low heat. And while that's heating up, my other ingredients, I have garlic, lots of flavor here. I have cayenne pepper. I'm just going to use a little bit of this to get some nice heat and some great flavor, and salt. And that's it. Our vegetables and those few ingredients is going to be delicious. So my oil's heating up now. So I'm going to add, and you could obviously use fresh garlic too, but I just find this easier, about 2 cloves worth of garlic right in there. And I've got my tongs here ready to stir everything around. And I'm just gonna let this cook for a minute. Now, while we're here, green beans. I'm using fresh. Like I said, you could also use frozen. Canned wouldn't work for this recipe, but they're always a great option for a side dish, or if you just, want to just eat green beans. All of these kinds of green beans have great nutrition and are super delicious. So try different kinds, see what you like. So my garlic has been cooking. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my green beans and my red bell peppers, and I'm going to bring the heat up a little bit to medium, and I'm going to cook that for about 7 minutes. So I will see you back when that is done. All right, so now our green beans and peppers have been cooking for about 7 minutes, and they're starting to get really bright. The green beans are getting really beautiful bright green. That's how you know they're cooking. So now we're going to add our tomatoes and celery right in there, and our seasoning. So we're going to do a 1/4 teaspoon of our cayenne pepper. Remember, we don't want it to be too hot. And about a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and you can do this to taste, and you can always add more salt later, so I like to go light on the salt. But now we're going to stir all this together, cook this on medium again for another 7 or so minutes until everything is cooked together. The tomatoes will soften and get a little more saucy. The celery will get nice and tender and bright green, and the beans will get even brighter. So this is going to be really delicious, and I'll see you guys. So everything has been cooking together for about 7 minutes now. It smells delicious. Everything's nice and caramelized, golden brown. The tomatoes are soft. Everything else is crisp and bright and beautiful. So we're going to dish it up and give this a taste. I'm going to make sure I get a little bit of everything. Now this is a beautiful side dish. You could serve it over any sort of whole grain like brown rice, quinoa, barley. It would be delicious over potatoes, really anything that you can think of. This would go great with. Get a little bit of everything. So I've got a green bean, a piece of celery, a piece of tomato, and a piece of red bell pepper. So here we go. It's a little hot, but the cayenne gives it a delicious little bit of heat without being too overpowering. You get the different textures of all the different veggies, but everything is still crisp. The tomatoes have sort of broken down into a sauce and give it a great flavor and texture. You guys, this is delicious. It's super easy, super simple to make, so I hope you'll try it. Bye.